Hey guys, I am here today at Ridge Cemetery on Pratt Lake Road in Gladwin County, and I'm here to repaint that headstone. It's got a beautiful mountain scene on it, you know, some animals and some people walking down a trail and things like that, and the paint has almost completely worn out of the entire scene. So I think I quoted this in October or November, somewhere in there. Last time I was here, all these maple trees you see behind me were beautiful fall colors, and in fact I took a picture that is the lock screen on the back of my phone from right over there. So anyways, I'm gonna get set up, get started with this. I gotta clean the stone, let it dry, remove any of the loose paint, and then I'll come back afternoon. I'm gonna take my wife out to lunch, and I'm gonna get it repainted. So stay tuned. All right, so as you can see, and the camera might be showing it look just a little bit better than what it actually does. Most of this headstone is just completely illegible. You can kind of read the last name here. You can kind of see down here where the names are a little bit, but like probably 90% of the paint is gone. So first thing we're going to do is completely scrub this thing down. I'm just going to mix some Orvis soap and water, scrub it down good. This thing's going to get a good scrub down because I got to make sure I get all this loose paint that's still in here. Anything that's real loose, I got to get out of there. And then I'm not going to treat it with D2 until after the paint cures later on this afternoon. Because what I found is that even D2 being on the stone, even if it's dry, it actually will hinder the ability of the paint to adhere to the stone. So once the paint's dry this afternoon, this is going to probably take me about 4 or 5 hours to do total. Once it's done, paint's dry, I'll spray the whole thing down with D2 and we'll be good to go. But first things first, get it clean. Alright, so this thing's just going to get a normal scrub just like anything else. It's pretty dirty, so I'm going to use a little bit stiffer brush. And you'll see kind of that seam start to come out a little bit as the water gets in there. Bring that color out a little bit in what's left of the paint. Okay, so now what you see here is quite a bit of difference from before I brushed it to after I brushed it. And see a lot of the paint that was loose in there still came off. Still can kind of see the design, but not near as good as you could before. So now I just need to let that dry. It's got to be perfectly dry, which you know, the sun is beating on it right now. It'll do a good job drying it out. I'm gonna go work on a few other things while I'm here. Maybe take some photographs for Find a Grave, and then I'm gonna go take my wife to lunch, and when I come back I'll paint this baby up and get it looking good again. So stay tuned. Okay, so now that that's had some time to dry, and I went and had a nice lunch with my wife, came back and I did test a little spot right here just for desired effect. That's going to be a nice color. I think they're going to be really happy with that. It looks actually maybe a little bit darker than what was originally there, so I think that's going to be really nice. I've used the same exact paint on one of my ancestors' headstones, and it turned out really nice. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to try not to block the camera so everybody can see. We're just going to paint all this in, and I'm going to warn you right now that this is going to look horrendous, and everybody's going to say, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" But I promise you, in the end, it'll look beautiful. This is just a Rust-Oleum oil-based enamel, and it works really well. It holds up to the weather really nicely. A lot of people will say, well, that's not the right kind of paint to use. You know, I've used a couple different kinds, and this seems to be the best. A lot of monument people will say that's not the right kind, and it probably isn't the kind they use, but it's the kind I like to use. It works really well. So this headstone has got a very nice finish on it. There's not a whole lot of pits outside of the design, so we're just not even going to worry about going outside the lines here. We're gonna put the paint on here, fill everything in. It's gonna go over the edges a little, but we got a remedy for that, so hold tight. Okay, I believe that is it. I'm going to do a once over just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. And now all we got to do is let it dry. We got to let it dry pretty darn good for this next part. Okay, so it's been a little over an hour, and as you can see, I did a few spot checks just to make sure the paint's dry. You can kind of see that it looks a little inconsistent in color, and that's just because some of it's a little bit thinner, drier than other spots. So we're going to start removing the paint, and I'm going to do that first with a scraper, and then I'm going to use a non-scratch cleaning pad to take off the excess. And I already found a few little spots that I missed, so I'll have to do a little touch-up. Okay, So that's the majority of the excess. Now we're just gonna come in here and you may have to use a cuttle bone. Yeah, have to use that cuttle bone, I think. So this is just cuttlefish bone. You can get it from the pet store in the bird section. And just gonna go over the whole thing. You can kind of feel the paint. You can feel when you got it removed. Gives a little resistance when there's paint there still. Okay, now we'll just brush all that stuff off. Once all that dust comes off of there, which once I hit all the spots that I missed, I'll rinse this down with some water and that'll all go away and it'll be nice and black, because looks a little gray right now with that dust in there. But I got a couple spots in here that I completely missed. I got a whole letter here and a period that I missed, a couple little touch-up spots. So that's what I'm going to do right now, and I'll show you the finished product. Alright, well there she is, all finished up. I ended up having to touch up a few spots, and then I cleaned it up again, and I found a couple more little spots that needed to be touched up, and I cleaned it up again, and I found another spot up here that needed to be touched up. So I went over the whole thing multiple times, and seems to be good. Took a after picture of it, sent it to the family, and they're happy with it. So they're gonna come up and check it out, and we'll go from there. But that's how you repaint a headstone. It's turned out really nice. I'm very happy with it, and I hope it'll continue to look this good for many years now. Okay, well that's a wrap. I'm gonna get the heck out of here. It is like 85 degrees out. It got really super hot. I got some clouds moving in. Praying for a little bit of rain. Hopefully we get some rain. We're not supposed to get any rain until like the 10th of June or something like that, and today's the 31st, so hopefully we get a little bit of rain tonight, and it cools off, because it's way too early to be way too early to be this hot. Thanks for coming along. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything else just like this.